How long ago did Jeremy and or Buck tell you about the opening day assignment?
I think that it became official a few days ago. They tipped me off, but we kind of, when we set out in the spring, they already kind of had mapped it out that was going to be the case, and to be opening to start, it's awesome. It's a heck of a day to pitch on. The atmospheres are crazy every single venue that you're in. So yeah, it's going to be a great day, and it's really fun to be out there and get the ball in that situation.
You've done it 6 times previously. What have you learned from those experiences?
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just another start. I mean, you got to go out there and compete against the other team. You just have a few more fans in the stands and a few more hoopla before the game. That's it.
There's a lot going on this spring, obviously, pitch clock, new rules, that kind of stuff. Where are you at the end of it now? You said you had a plan coming in. Is the mindset, it's settled in on the new rules and fixed? And I don't know how to describe it, I guess, but has the adjustment process just kind of gone as planned for that?
Yeah, I mean, I never thought this was going to affect me. You're never going to call a ball on me. It's never going to be a result of me. I've seen it. It was what I thought. I'd be able to, at times, pitch quick, and other times pitch slow, and something I can use my advantage. The biggest adjustment has been on the hitter. Hitters are now in the box ready. They're just not stepping out of the box. That's been the overwhelming adjustment. Has been, from my perspective, is watching how the hitters have had to change this. You look at this and you still see some potential holes in this that there could be some things that you can do to play ticky-tack and be able to get the clock or be able to get the advantage in your thing. So I don't know. Seeing this, I just wish MLB would give the umpires the ability to turn the clock off. We're playing. You don't see any violations as long as the hitters are playing at speed. We're all playing at pace. If the umpire wants to, let the umpire turn the clock off, and we can just play baseball. I mean, like I said, the hitter. The biggest rule here is that the hitter only has one timeout. So that's been really one of the biggest changes, to the offense from the offensive side of the ball, and that's forced the pace, and we've seen the results of that.
When are you conscious of the clock and not?
Every pitch. I mean, you were looking at this at every pitch, so that's just reality. That's why I said I'm never going to get called on it. So if you have any problems, you got to look at the umpire and be able to get anything. So you can't. There isn't a moment that you can take your eye off of it. I mean, I got a violation on me earlier in spring training because I took my eye off the clock one time. I thought I was operating normally, and I didn't. So I learned from that one mistake, and you have to. It's on the forefront of your mind every single pitch. So that's why that's why I sit there and say, give the umpire discretion to turn it off.
So you're also competing every pitch. So do you have to channel the clock as part of the competition, or does it ever get in the way of the competition?
No, you're like a quarterback. You're constantly aware of the play clock. I mean, that's what a quarterback does. So, from my vantage point, that's what it feels like.
How was it working with Omar again today for the first time in a while in the game?
This last start, this is a full kind of dress rehearsal. Where I was going to get 100 pitches and you go. I mean, you're facing the lineup 2-3 times now. So it was good to get with Omar and start putting bats together, sequences together. Kind of getting on the same page. He's starting to see how I think and what I want to do in certain situations, and so feel very comfortable with him going forward. It's going to be fun to throw to him when you get into your opening day start. You get into that 90+ pitch count. Now I can tell Buck, look, I've been here, I'm strong, I can go, or hey, I know where I'm physically at and I'm starting to fatigue. So it makes a conversation with Buck in that situation, just a lot more confident if I say, yeah, I got one more hitter.
Max, when you came into camp, you talked about last year and trying to, want to avoid those things happening to you physically. You can't guard against it totally, but how do you feel about the tweaks you made to your off-season program with that, and physically, where you at?
Yeah, that's where I was been paying attention to how I ramp up, with the pitch count and seeing how my body responds to it. Here I am, I've ramped up, got to 100 pitches, and I feel great. Side's responding well. I'm not having any kind of lingering effects from it. So, that's the good news, is that I've got my side built up and strong, like my arm as well.
Does it feel any different at 37 at this time of year than it did at 27?
Yeah, it feels the same.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Is this like a typical progression for you? You want to throw 100 pitches at the end of spring training every year?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've done this many years in a row. I've always said you want to experience 100 pitches before the regular season because the spring training games are not at the same level of intensity as a regular season game. So that's why you want to get to 100 today so that you can be at 100 when the intensity ramps up.
Having been through so many opening days already, do you have a favorite part of the day?
I don't know if there's one part. It's everything. You feel like you're at the starting line of a marathon of the season. Everybody's playing on the same day. You got the best pitching matchups across the league. The whole day is awesome.
Along those same lines, going up against Alcantara, what does that mean for you? You guys both now won Cy Youngs, just that matchup, a little bit extra juice.
It's fun. I enjoy competing against the best. He's obviously established himself as one of the best in the game, and that's what Major League Baseball does. It's constantly putting you against the best, and constantly putting you in high intensity positions, and you got to rise to it and match it every single time. That's the challenge of the big leagues, and that's what makes it great.